Please join us every week for a new episode of Understanding the Human Condition with Dr. James Flowers. Dr. Flowers and his most admired mentors, respected colleagues, and VIP guests will share valuable insight into underlying health causes, conditions, and issues. These in-depth yet approachable episodes are a great resource for both private individuals and industry professionals. Our esteemed host, Dr. James Flowers, is one of the most recognized and respected names in the field of chronic pain, mental health, and substance use disorders, both nationally and internationally. Dr. Flowers is the founder of J. Flowers Health Institute, located in Houston, Texas. For more information about J. Flowers Health Institute and its concierge services, go to jflowershealth.com or dial 713-783-6655. And be sure to mention this podcast.
Welcome to Understanding the Human Condition with our host, Dr. James Flowers.
Hey, Robin. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I am so excited today. We have an amazing woman on the show from California today, from the Pacific Palisades, Sydney Holland. Welcome to Understanding the Human Condition. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Dr. Flowers and Robin. I like to call you James.
Yeah, call me. You can call me James. We know each other. We go back a long ways, and I consider Sydney a good friend. And you are just an amazing woman that lives a passionate life. And I want to talk about your life a little bit today, since this is kind of understanding the human condition and wanting to know kind of what your idea of the human condition is, and really how the year 2020 has impacted your own human condition. So go ahead, Robin.
I wanted to read a little bio about you, if I may.
Sure, of course.
Sydney is a philanthropist, art collector, and entrepreneur. She's the founder and partner of The Urban and the Mystic, a uniquely positioned brand focused on creating special moments through the healing power of crystals. Following the success of her entrepreneurial career, she has pivoted to real estate, where she currently excels in flipping high-end homes to high-profile A-list celebrity clients. Most special to Sydney's heart is the work she achieves through the Sydney Holland Foundation, an organization that provides scholarships to improve the lives of at-risk youth and support the arts. Sydney is an avid art collector with over 100 works and is very involved in the LA art community. And her most important achievement is that she is a single mother of 3 young children under the age of 7.
Which is the biggest and the hardest.
I bet it is hard.
Well, with you being that active, that's my first question out of the gate, and involved in the community in so many ways. How do you do it? I mean, do you have full time?
Takes a village.
Yeah.
Takes a village.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of help. A lot of help. In fact, my little boy jumped off the swing set. He thought it was a good idea that my nephew told him to jump off the swing set. He has 2 broken arms. He's 4.5 with 2 broken arms.
Was that Liam?
Liam.
Yeah. Oh.
Daredevil.
That is amazing. He broke both arms.
I've never had that happen to me before in my life. And, I'm used to demure little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like the wild, wild west. So
they're like feral. You have feral children.
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're very sweet, but they're crazy.
Yep. And how's Alexandra doing?
You know what? She's thriving. Unfortunately, we're on Zoom, which is ridiculous at this point because I don't know how a 7-year-old can really have social interaction and learn on Zoom.
Right. It's got to be so hard.
She has a tutor that helps her. This whole community has just been so devastated in California with what's going on with COVID. And just think about the people that can't afford to go. Their school was where they were going to eat their food.
Right.
And their parents have to work, and they're out of work, and they don't even have a computer, and their parents don't even have an education, let alone know how to use a computer. It's really devastating what's going on with kids and with the education system right now and in Southern California. It's very upsetting.
Yeah. And, speaking of children and what's going on in Southern California, you're a huge philanthropist in California and the LA region and probably everywhere else as well. But what have you seen and where have you seen a need to do a lot of your work this year in California?
I've really pivoted. I was very, very much still into the arts, and I'm still into, helping children and, bringing arts to underprivileged areas, arts and education. But it is a vanity thing to be in the arts because you want your name on the wall and you love to collect artists. But that being said, I don't want to say that that's not important to me, because it is. But what's really important to me is how are we going to help all these kids that can't afford food now?
Yeah.
They can't afford school. They're not going to school. Their parents out of work. So what we're doing is we partnered with Just Keep Living Foundation, which you guys, know him.
I do.
Matthew McConaughey. We love him. He's a Texan.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Matthew.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew. We love you. He's got a great foundation. We bought computers for all the kids. And then I bought at the UCLA Lab School, which was a school my daughter was going to, before we made sure that the kids had because 75% of the school really is on scholarship there, even though it's a private public school. We made sure that the parents, had food, because when the pandemic hit, there was no government assistance coming out quick enough for
That's
people.
Right. Yep.
And computers for Zoom. And we're doing stuff where they're going to do something with Watts Empowerment with Children's Mending Hearts downtown. We're doing stuff with Miriam's House still with children, with, women that are addicts get to go, and they've got kids that they can stay there while they get sober. We're doing a lot of stuff that we're doing more with kids this year than ever
Awesome.
Sure.
in the school systems here at the LA Unified School District.
In the past, over the last several years, I've been fortunate enough to be invited by Sydney to LA to attend Miriam's House annual fundraiser. Why don't you tell everybody about Miriam's House and your work with Miriam's House? Because it's something close to my heart.
Right. Miriam's House is incredible. So it's a sober living for women that can go with children. They do an annual polo event this year, which I don't think they're doing this year, actually. So they really need as much resources they can get. I mean, they're incredible. I've seen so many women there get sober and be able to have their kids there, which is amazing, because most of these women, are drug addicts and alcoholics are, going to get into the court system, and their kids are going to get taken away if they don't get sober.
That's right. Yeah. You've been an amazing part of that organization. And part of your own life is that you're in recovery. Tell us a little bit about your own. Yeah. How long? 16?
How many?
I'll have 16 years in February.
Congratulations.
But, I got sober at a very young age. I got sober when I was 16, 15 turning 16. I went to Hazleton, and no one was an alcoholic then. Everybody was like, you're a bum, or you're like an older person to be an alcoholic. And I really identified with being an addict. And then, of course, my journey is, I was sober most of my life. I've been through a few rehabs.
Yep.
And the last rehab I went to was Crossroads Antigua, and I stayed sober.
Amazing. Yeah. What is your personal secret? What's your personal recipe to staying in recovery? And what advice would you give single mothers out there who are new in recovery?
Yeah.
It's one day at a time.
Yeah.
And I mean that. It's one day at a time. It's 1 hour at a time. It's such a combination, because it used to be like you'd go to meetings and that was the magic recipe for people, but I don't think it is anymore. I think it's a component of it. I think you need, a group of women that support you. I think you need a female group. I think you need a sponsor. I think you need meditation. I think you need exercise. And I think you need a community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a we program, it's not an I program. And I think that's the most important thing I have, are females that I can call at any time and talk to, and, a therapist.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you can afford a therapist, go to therapy. If you can afford to go to a
agree.
treatment center, go to a treatment center. And if you can't, go to AA on Zoom and latch on to somebody who will come and be of service to you and do the steps with you.
That's right. Absolutely. I tell everyone, especially about therapy, no matter how well we perceive ourselves to be or perceive others to be, we all need a good therapist. We all need someone that is a third, not disinterested party, but someone that we can go sit with and talk to and just really vomit information and say, how does that sound? Bounce ideas off. And, I know that historically you had an amazing relationship with your father. Was he around when you went into recovery, or did he pass before that?
No, he was there when I went to recovery. I was 20 when he passed away, but I had definitely struggled with my sobriety. But he was not he was not a proponent of. My mother was more of a proponent of me getting sober than he was. I think he had a lot of denial. I think he was the denier of the household, but I think he'd be proud of me today.
Yeah. He would be very proud of you today, as the rest of your family is. You and really all of your siblings, your parents did an amazing job, obviously. You're all successful. You're all entrepreneurs. Your sister has a huge podcast series. Your other sister has a boxing company, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, we're all different, and we're all like, none of them are addicts, which is funny, but They all probably have addictive personalities, just in different ways.
That's exactly right. I know. One of your addictions, I think, I hear is art and the love for art, right? Tell us about your art and art collection if you're open to that. And I've been in your home. I've been fortunate enough to visit at your home several times. And I love a particular piece of yours. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's a hologram-like image of Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, that's Crystal Bean. And I love the Queen. I have like 3 pictures of her. I've got one that says I'd rule.
Yep.
I just started collecting art like, I don't know, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. I was an art history major. So I think deep down inside, I'm a frustrated artist or designer. But I have everything from photography to a ton. I mean, I like to collect new and emerging artists to everything from, Andy Warhol, Damien Hirst. But I have a lot of new up and coming artists that I just love and, hopefully they'll get famous, but I collect what I love.
Yep, absolutely. What is your favorite piece? Do you have one particular favorite piece that you love to hang on to, or that you think that when you walk by it and look, you just go, I love this?
I like the Mel Bachner, blah, blah, blah.
I know which one that is. Google it, everybody. It's beautiful.
I love it.
Love it.
It's a great piece.
Yeah, it really is a great piece.
Because honestly, right now, we all just feel blah, blah, blah. I mean, you're much more open than we are. I mean, we are not. I mean, in California, you really can't do that much right now. In Los Angeles, it's very, very closed. I mean, we really don't do much.
A lot of our patients come out of California, and this year we've had an increase of patients that came from California that are coming from California. And it's so interesting hearing about California and the state of mind that it's in with the wildfires and COVID and everything else that's going on in California and politics and just where we are today. How has this year affected your own human condition, anxiety, stress, things like that?
Well, when the pandemic first hit, I don't think I was sleeping very much. I was up at like 4 a.m. every day. I was watching the news around the clock. I was in a heightened anxiety state.
Sure.
And I think we were all in a heightened anxiety state. We were afraid if we opened the door, we were going to get COVID. We were like, constantly sanitizing, and we were in our house. And then, I started walking because, luckily I live in Southern California and I live in a beautiful neighborhood, and I walked everywhere. And I think the walking for me was like a meditation, and that helped me. And I got to meet people, and I saw people I hadn't seen, and I had a connection with people. But, I saw a lot of people, kill themselves this year. I saw depression. I never heard of so many people committing suicide.
Sydney, we were just talking
about
who
had everything.
Absolutely.
Looked, money. It wasn't like people that I'd expected either.
Yeah. So are these personal people that you know?
Personal people I know.
Gosh. Just amazing. I'm so sorry.
Some sober, some never could get sober.
Right.
Sometimes the money is the root of all evil for these people. Is if you have so much money, why would you get sober?
Absolutely.
You see it every day.
Yeah, you do. I do. Absolutely.
So I read the following in the Urban and Mystic website, where it says, everything we do at Urban and Mystic is to help you and the ones you love create beautiful moments, to heal, celebrate, call in good vibes. A moment is all you need to change your life. And which is a beautiful sentiment and a great brand. So tell us your inspiration for founding that company.
Okay. So Courtney, my business partner, who was like my right-hand person for years, saw me buying all these crystals from this crazy lady. She was like selling to every celebrity. I was like collecting it like art. And I really believed in the power of the crystals. I was like, if I have pink quartz, I'm calling in love. If I have the black tourmaline, it's protection. And we just got into it. We're like, how can we bring this to people that's affordable, that's a feel good? Like everybody's so sick of getting flowers.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. In my practice, J. Flowers Health Institute, we actually buy from Urban and Mystic. I don't know if you know that or not.
I know you do. You buy incredible stuff from us, and we do such a good private label business. And everybody thanks us that they didn't get flowers, because every time you just get flowers, it's like they die. So someone just died, and we have a bereavement box, and we engrave beautiful things on the bereavement box, like in our hearts forever. And then, we can put their handwriting, and to people, that's really special, because when people die, who wants to have flowers that die?
I agree. Yeah. I get so many text messages from people after those go out that says, thank you for sending this instead of a bouquet of flowers. It is amazing. How do people find Urban and Mystic?
So they just go on our website, our Instagram, theurbanandthemystic.com. We're easy. You can swipe up. We ship everywhere in the world. We we monogram anything for you. We engrave anything from you. We're very quick.
Yeah, I can tell everybody listening today that it absolutely is amazing work that they do, and all of our folks that we send things to just love it. Yeah.
Let's talk about your real estate, because you're like wonderful at flipping houses.
It's my one lucky charm.
So
I just love that.
When did you start, and how did you begin all that?
I started when I was in my 30s, in my late 30s, probably 37, 38, and I just kept going with how the real estate market in LA is just, I don't know how it is in Houston or Austin.
Yeah.
Well, Austin's very.
Austin and LA are
huge.
kind of on the same line.
Yeah.
It's expensive in Austin.
It
area.
is.
Is that true?
Very. Yeah.
I hate
really
to say
is.
it on air, but it is.
Yeah, no,
I have
it
friends
is.
trying to find a place there, and it's cray-cray.
I will say,
But it's worth it. I loved living there.
I will say that there's something like 500 Californians a week or month moving to Austin, and it's just wild. A lot of people are leaving California right now, and I heard a little birdie one time say that Sydney Holland may be one day open to relocating. Would you ever move out of LA and the Palisades?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great segue to, I do
honestly,
that
I think that it's like wherever you're supposed to be, you are. And I think that, I'm so rooted here, but I could see myself in somewhere in Texas. I think Texas is a great place to live.
Yeah, Texas is amazing. Yeah.
And maybe when you meet your future love,
husband, or
because you are
love
single, and I thought I'd mention it on air. That's right.
I am single. That's true. I am. So I'm open to Texans.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah. What are you looking
that
for?
seed now.
What qualities do you look for in the person with whom you'd like to have a relationship with?
I think really smart and really funny and honest. I think honesty is key.
Yeah, rigorous honesty.
Because you're over the age of 40, you're kind of set in your ways. I hate to say it. I'm sure you all know this, that we are inherently set in our ways. So we want someone who can, come into our life and make us the best version of ourselves.
Excuse me. Yeah.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
A COVID cough.
Right. I know. Sorry, everybody.
By the way, it's like this COVID. Everybody's like, you cough, and people like, you're in the line. They're like, you have COVID.
Oh,
I'm
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
You just say allergies. I have allergies.
Yeah. Allergies.
That's what I do.
Something
By
to
the
know
way,
about.
so many of my friends got COVID and they're fine. So that's a good news.
Yeah. I had COVID, and I don't know if you knew that or not.
Were you asymptomatic?
I was asymptomatic. Yeah. Robin had more symptoms than I did.
I did. Yeah.
But I never ran fever.
How do you guys think you got it?
Well,
I
think she gave it to me.
No, you gave it to me.
We don't know. We've talked about that and said, how do you think? There's just no telling. I go to Whole Foods. It's interesting. Everything is closed, but the grocery stores, of course, are open. And as careful as you are at a grocery store, you still touch things. And I really do think I probably got it at a grocery store or something like that, buying essential items, because that's everything here was closed when I had it as well. And we weren't doing anything.
Had no symptoms, like nothing.
The only symptom I had, Sydney, was I lost my sense of taste and smell for 3 days. And they were gone one morning, and they were back 3 days later. That was my only symptom. What were yours?
Oh, the first 3 days were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, everything hurt. I don't know how to describe. My
Flu-like.
skin hurt.
Yeah.
It was like a bad cold and bad flu parked in my body.
Yeah.
My skin hurt. My teeth hurt. My head hurt. Horrible.
Oh, that
headaches.
sounds terrible. I do not want this.
And then
no.
Day 4 was I lost my taste and my smell.
Yeah.
Day 5, I decided to visit my GI tract.
Yeah.
And then the fatigue was just so bad. I'd get up for 2 hours. I'd have to be back down for 2 hours.
So when did it stop for you?
I started to feel better, I think the 6th or 7th day, but I 10 days that I just would, just were not fun.
To forget.
Yeah. And it was actually my first week at the J. Flowers Health Institute when I came down with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it to us. I'm kidding.
But do you have any residual effects, either one of you, or no?
Fatigue.
I don't. She does. She has ongoing fatigue. And, it's so wild. I have a friend in Austin, a psychiatry friend of mine that had it back in June, early July. He still has not been back to work, Sydney. I mean, he's a practicing psychiatrist that had COVID who now tests negative, but it's because of his ongoing chronic fatigue syndrome that he's not able to see patients. He wants to be so present with the patients.
That's horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they got to figure this out because it's just
long hauler syndrome. I know. That's right. Maybe that can be part of your ongoing research and philanthropy, is helping people figure out what the heck is going on and with long hauler syndrome. So, because you are a big philanthropist, you give to UCLA Neuropsychiatric Institute. Is that right?
Yeah, because my daughter was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at 18 months. So I'm a real proponent of autism and helping people that have autism and people that can't afford to test for autism, because if you don't have money, you can't get the best treatment.
Right.
And it's like everything in this country. If you can't afford it, you don't get it. So I'm trying to figure out how you people who can't afford it can get help.
How did you pick up on that?
Pick up on what?
With your daughter.
The autism,
with your
the
daughter.
no talking, the talking, then stopping talking, the eye contact. She was a preemie, so I don't know if that had something to do with it, but now she doesn't shut up. So we're good.
We're all
right?
Good. Yeah. Well, and she's good today because of all of the effort and the work that you put into her. Early intervention. Yeah.
But you can only do that if you can afford to. Yeah. That's the sad thing about the United States.
Yeah, it really is. What do you think what do you think the solution is to that?
Help everybody the same.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, not that I need a socialized, but you got to do something where you help people. You can't just be like, if you're rich, you get special treatment. If you're poor, you don't.
Right. I completely agree. Yeah. It's a difficult time.
But it's a polarizing time anyways. No matter what's going to happen, it's still polarizing.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. What's on your plans for the holidays this year, if anything, in LA?
Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm trying to talk my mom into Cabo. She's very worried. I'm like, it's going to be better there than here. Trust me. It's warm there.
Yeah. I thought Louise loved Cabo. She should go. She's worried about COVID, I guess, huh? Yeah. And traveling. Last year, you guys went to, was it Jackson Hole?
Sun Valley.
Sun Valley.
But it's too cold, but they're not skiing, so they're going to be bored.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I saw all the photos. It looked like you guys had an amazing trip to Sun Valley.
Yeah, I'm thinking Mexico. Are you going to go out of town?
You know what? I don't know where we're going to go. Are you going anywhere?
I have to go back to Chicago and freeze.
Yep, same thing.
That's where my family's at, so
yeah,
I have no choice.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have 2 minutes left, I think. I cannot believe how fast this flew by.
No, but I wanted to ask a couple more questions that were kind of off topic. But what gives you the greatest joy in life?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
What gives you the greatest joy in life?
Well, I'm not going to lie, because I sound like anybody who's a mom, but really I never knew that I'd have a love for children like I do.
Oh.
So I think the greatest joy for me right now, besides, doing good and helping others, is my children.
Yeah.
Really my children.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like your friend's family. It's like your family, your friends.
Yeah.
All that stuff's important,
Yes.
What's your guilty?
COVID taught me is that less is more.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, for sure. Bring those bitches on. I love the fighting. And a dirty tabloid.
Oh my God.
I love a good tabloid.
Yeah, there you go.
It's funny because I see all the housewives. I know them all, but I just love watching them. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah. I sat with you a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago in LA at the Beverly Hilton at one of the events. And one of the Desperate Housewives, blonde, I can't remember which one, but we laughed and had the best time. It was so much fun that day.
Oh yeah, it was probably sad. And because I am a board member, the Friendly House is having their annual function on October 24th. It is going to be virtual. We still, they do a lot of great stuff. They have a great sober living. They have a great, rehab for women. It's one of the oldest in LA. I'm still a board member and I'm still plugging away for them too.
I got to tell you, I love Monica Phillips and the work that she's doing, and Peggy Albright and Friendly House and what you're doing with Friendly House. Are you guys having an auction this year? A virtual?
We are. And then there's one more thing I have to mention. I'm on the board of the Caton Children's Museum, which is amazing. We do amazing things, and I'll send you both invitations, and yes, there'll be both auctions, and James, there'll be good stuff on both of them for each.
Excellent. Yep. Awesome. You know me, I love bidding at auctions. Yeah.
What's on your bucket lists that you haven't done that you'd still like to do?
Africa. In fact, I was just talking to my mom because I won a trip.
Oh.
I bought a trip. I didn't win the trip. I bought the trip to Africa, and we're deciding if we should go in April or wait a year. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
So Africa's for sure on my bucket list, and also going to the Seychelles or Mauritius.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very
There's so many
nice.
places in the world I want to go.
Yeah.
You travel a lot. You travel a lot.
I do.
James.
4 years ago, I bid on the auction at Friendly House and won the auction for the Africa trip, a safari.
Oh,
And
go?
I didn't go,
You
and it's
didn't?
expired.
oh no.
I'm gonna have to do it again this year if it's there. Yeah, I know, but
Well,
that's
that's a
okay.
bummer.
The money went to good causes.
that's true.
You know,
That's true.
absolutely. So
Well,
I do.
it's so good to see you. I'm gonna have to come visit you in Houston. Is that where you are now
Please.
mostly?
We are in Houston, Texas. I'm here most of the time. I go back and forth. I'm in Austin sometimes. You know, I love Austin. You love Austin. We've done the oh gosh, Matthew McConaughey Foundation. Tell me the name again.
Just keep living.
Just Keep Living. Yeah, we did that together. I did that with you guys in Austin. That was an amazing weekend. Sydney and her mom came
We had
to
so
Austin.
much fun.
It is so much fun. And it's a great cause as well.
Yeah.
As you can tell, she's a huge philanthropist and loves to be involved in philanthropy and giving back. Sydney, come to Houston. Come visit us. I'll take
I
you
will
to
for
Austin.
sure. It was so good to see you. I'll come.
Yeah.
Thanks for
All
being
right.
Have a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, both of you.
Yeah. Bye, Sydney.
If everybody doesn't know how great you are, I'm going to tell them.
There you
Aw.
go. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.